The saddest book in the Bible is not loud, and it does not try to impress you. It is quiet, heavy, and deeply painful. It is the kind of sadness that does not shout but slowly fills your heart. The book is called Lamentations. This book was written after Jerusalem was completely destroyed, not just attacked or damaged but fully broken. The city of God, the place where people once worshipped with joy, now stood empty and silent. The walls were torn down, the streets were deserted, and the songs of worship were gone. The writer is not just telling us what happened. He is feeling it. Every word carries pain. Every sentence feels like a cry. You can almost hear his voice shaking as he looks at the city and says that the place once full of people now sits alone, like a widow who has lost everything. This is not just about a city. This is about people, real lives, real suffering. Families were destroyed, children were crying, hearts were completely broken. And what makes this even more painful is the truth behind it. This did not happen suddenly. It happened slowly over time because people walked away from God, not in one big decision but in small choices, small sins, small compromises. They stopped listening to God. They stopped caring. Everything seemed normal until one day everything collapsed. Now the writer stands in the middle of the ruins, realizing what has happened. And that realization hurts deeply, because sometimes the greatest pain comes when you understand that things could have been different. The book does not hide suffering. It speaks about hunger where people search for food and find nothing. It speaks about fear where there is no safety anywhere. It speaks about shame where people lose their dignity and identity. But the deepest pain is not physical, it is spiritual. The writer feels like God is far away, like heaven is closed, like his prayers are not being heard. At one point, he even feels that God has blocked his prayers. Imagine crying out to God and feeling like your words are going nowhere. That kind of silence is one of the heaviest pains a person can feel. And honestly, many people feel this today, not because their city is destroyed, but because their hearts feel broken. There are moments when prayers feel empty, nights feel long, and God feels distant. And in those moments, the question rises quietly inside, God, where are you? This book understands that feeling deeply. But something powerful happens in the middle of all this sadness. Not outside, because the situation is still the same. The city is still destroyed. The pain is still there. But inside the writer, something begins to change. He remembers who God is. He says that because of the Lord's mercy, we are not consumed. His compassion never fails. It is new every morning. Great is his faithfulness. This moment is powerful because nothing around him has improved, yet he chooses to trust God. That is real faith. Not when life is perfect, but when life is broken and you still believe. He understands that feelings can change, but God does not. And maybe that is something you need to hear right now. Even if you feel far from God, even if you feel empty, his mercy is still there. Quiet but real. This book teaches something very deep. It teaches that it is okay to cry. It is okay to be honest with God. You do not have to pretend to be strong. You do not have to hide your pain. God already sees everything and he understands. But it also teaches that you should not stay in despair forever. There is always hope. Even if it starts small, hope in God is never wasted. Now take a moment. If this message is speaking to your heart, go and check out our other videos. There are more messages like this that can help you grow, understand God better, and stay strong in your faith. And then come back because this message is important. As the book continues, the writer begins to speak with a different tone. Not because the pain is gone, but because his perspective is changing. He says that the Lord is good to those who wait for him, to the one who seeks him. Even in pain, there is still a reason to seek God. Even in silence, there is still a reason to trust him. He also says that it is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. Waiting is not easy, especially when you are hurting. But waiting with trust is faith in its purest form. At the end of the book, the writer does something simple but powerful. He prays. He asks God to restore them, to bring them back, and to renew their days. He does not pretend everything is fine. He does not fake strength. He simply comes as he is, broken but still believing. And maybe that is why this is the saddest book in the Bible, because it is real. It shows the full weight of sin, the depth of pain, and the silence that comes with suffering. But it also shows a small light that refuses to go out. That light is God's mercy. If you feel lost, if you feel far from God, or if your heart feels heavy, remember this. Even in your lowest moment, God is still there. Not always loud, not always obvious, but always present. And sometimes, the strongest faith is not loud worship or perfect prayers. Sometimes it is just a quiet whisper from a broken heart that still says, "God, I trust you." That is the true heart of Lamentations.